Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by today. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you never miss a new upload. Today I've got another color along for you guys. This is another one featuring Mariola Budek's GNOMES PDF. I posted one already, but then I have a second one. So this guy is really cute. He's got little antlers and he's got a present and he's getting ready to unwrap it, it looks like. So I decided to go with a classic Christmas color palette, not like my last video where I used the OHUHU pastel markers. I actually took all my colors that I'm going to use from my 216 brush marker set. I haven't really decided what colors I'm going to put where, but I have swatched my colors out so that I know what they look like. I do have swatch sheets, but sometimes I just prefer to use the colors or put down the colors that I plan on using because it just makes it easier. That way I don't have to search through 216 color swatches to see the color that I'm looking for. I have a couple greens and then I do have a few pastel colors that I wanted to try and mix in there, which I mean this mint blue I think goes fine with the color palette as well as the pink. I have some more natural colors for his antlers and his nose and his mouth. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I haven't decided if I'm going to speed this video up. I just don't know that I have enough to say today, being that I had filmed a video yesterday. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'll zoom you guys in first so you can get a closer look at what I'm doing. Again, I printed this one on a smooth cardstock paper because like I stated in my last video, I prefer to use the markers on a smoother paper versus a toothier paper because I feel like the toothier paper kind of tears up my nibs. I'm just going to pull my colors here out of this rubber band. I'm going to actually start with the more natural areas of the gnome, which are his nose, his lips, and his, the antlers. I figure I would do those in a more earthy color, probably the lightest one that I have. So I'm going to go in with the E280 Sand White. It is another gloomy day here. It is raining and it's supposed to rain all day, I believe. So my lighting isn't the greatest. I do have the window open to try and bring in some natural light, but there's not a whole lot of, good sunlight coming in from the window here. I do have my Poscas again, just in case I did want to add some reflective elements to this one, just like I did my last one. We'll see what I decide to do. I'm a little worried about using the darker colors on the grayscale just because I don't want it to cover up the the shading in the grayscale. It's a little bit later today. Yesterday I was able to start filming that video early enough to where I had time to edit and everything. So I'm hoping that I didn't start too late today, but I don't really have much going on for the rest of the day. I did all my laundry, so I'm hoping to be done coloring this by the time that stuff is done in the dryer so that I can get it folded and put away. I never used to be the way that I am now about laundry. I kind of used to just I would wash, dry, and I would fold it, but I wouldn't always put it away. And now I've tried to get into the habit of, putting my laundry away, just kind of getting it all done on my day off, and so that I don't have to worry about having clean clothes or anything. But yeah, I used to not always put my laundry away, unfortunately. But like I said, now I've gotten into the habit of doing it. So I think the issue before was too that we didn't have enough room. So I would just kind of fold it and put it in the basket and call it a day. So that was the sand white that I used on his antlers. Now I'm going to go in with Y11 brown gray for his nose and his lips. Well, this is darker than the sand white, and it's not covering up the grayscale too bad. I even went ahead already and packed my lunch for tomorrow if I get a chance to eat it. Unfortunately, sometimes I'm so busy at work that I don't get a chance to sit down and eat my lunch. We'll do his lips here. And then just like the one I did before, I'm going to try and feather this out a little bit so that it blends in. It's not working how I would like it to. We'll color his hands this color too. I don't have my dinner in the crock pot like I normally like to do, but I'm making burgers tonight, so that wouldn't do so well in the crock pot. I'm making burgers tonight because my oldest daughter has to work. So she works at like a burger place and probably wouldn't want burgers for dinner anyway. Every time I make them, she's like, I am tired of burgers because, you know, that's all she really eats at work. I know at one point she was talking about like taking lunches to work, but that didn't last very long. I prefer to take a lunch with me to work because I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to get down to the cafeteria, much less, eat my lunch. So I still haven't gotten my wrapping done. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or if, since we're not going to my husband's mom's house until later in the day, because she said 3 o'clock, since we're going later, I might be able to squeeze it in on Sunday before we go. Gingerbread guy on the wrapping paper, so I was thinking about doing that one in the sand white color. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna go in with the finer end because I don't want to go out of the lines. And I was gonna do the wrapping paper green. I suppose I could do like a darker green or a lighter green. So I think I want to do his hat next, which I was thinking of doing in the coral red. Well, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So this is on the darker side, and the grayscale's still showing through, so I should have left that part of his hat white. I was a little nervous about this red because it almost looks kind of like reddish orange, but I think it'll be okay. So my husband's at work, the kids are at school, and it's just me and the dogs right now, which I don't mind. They keep me good company when everyone is gone. They're also like, it seems like they're a little bit more protective when no one's home. Like they kind of bark at every little noise that they hear outside, which can be a little bit annoying, but I try not to yell at them for barking because if something ever does happen, I want them to be able to warn us. So I don't want them to think that, barking is a bad thing and they should be punished for it. And sometimes our older dog will hear something, so then she gets the younger one going. London, her younger dog, doesn't really seem to be bothered by a whole lot, but if Liberty, our older dog, is barking, she tends to follow suit. But they're both really good dogs, and I'm glad that we have them. Liberty, our older dog, she was a rescue from, it's like basically the pound, but she was like found by like a landlord or something, or she was found in the house, basically abandoned. They like moved out and left her there. She's been through some stuff, but you would never think she was, because she's such a good dog. And then I think I might do these little stripes on his socks. Red. I'm going to use the fine end for that. I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want to do because I forgot I have a darker red too. So I might use the darker red for the stripes in his socks. But I am going to do this hat right here in this color. We'll make it match the hat on his head. We'll just fill in a few little details here on the wrapping paper. I'm almost thinking I want to do like a golden color for the bow. Wow, this stocking over here is hard to color. I might just have to make the whole thing red. There. And then we'll do the bow and these little ornaments. Maybe something on the snowman. This little dot down here I can do. We'll do the snowman's little dots here too. And then I'm just going to do this heart in the red. And then I'll be done with the present. Whenever I see Christmas wrapping paper, it reminds me of one year my godmom, she's passed away now. Unfortunately, it was unexpected and sudden. But my godmom, I had mentioned yesterday my daughter's birthday. My oldest daughter, her birthday is pretty well in the beginning. It's in the beginning of December, so it's December 1st. I had mentioned how I don't like to, decorate for Christmas too early because I don't want it to take away from her birthday. But my godmom got my oldest daughter, Jocelyn is her name, got her a birthday gift. And then since it was so close to Christmas, she just brought her Christmas present also, but she wrapped both of them in Christmas wrapping paper. And I just remember being like, oh, Christmas paper. I mean, I thought it was funny, even though I'm the type of person that like doesn't like to try to, take away from her birthday. So I'm gonna go in with this sugar cane GY7, and I'm going to fill in some of the elements on the wrapping paper. So we'll fill this one in, and then I'll do the tree too. It's going to be a bright Christmas tree. I was talking to a few people at work about Christmas, and a lot of them said they actually don't like Christmas, and it's mostly because there's so much expectation associated with Christmas that not everyone has the money to buy everyone a nice present. And I mean, like, I totally agree, but I also really like Christmas. I like the Christmas decorations. I love lights. We have like a drive-through light thing over. It's like 45 minutes away from us, but it's like worth the drive. So I enjoy that. I like buying gifts for other people. I don't like wrapping, as I've mentioned before. The other like only thing I don't like about Christmas is Christmas music. I'm not like a big fan of Christmas music. There's a couple songs that I like and I'll play, but I'm just not Christmas music just isn't my thing. So I do like I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but I do like their Christmas music. Back in when I was like a teenager, my mom had taken me to go see them, and I thought it was really cool. Uh, and just like their lights, they put on like a really good show. So that's something I would be interested in doing maybe next year. I don't think we could swing it this year, but I think next year I wouldn't mind doing it. So yeah, that's like the only Christmas type music that I like. Trying to see if there's anything else on this gift wrap that I'm missing. Maybe the snowman's hat. I'll do the dark green for that. And then what should I do next? I was gonna do his little pom-pom at the top here with this green gray. The reason why I chose the green gray versus like a neutral gray is just to kind of go along with the Christmas theme. And it's not super green, but it does have a tint of green in it. I think these are some of my favorite Christmas coloring pages that I've ever seen. But again, I love gnomes, so if you don't like gnomes, you probably wouldn't like these pages, but I think they're super cute. And this is turning out way better than I anticipated. So I think for the stripes on his socks, I'm actually going to go in with this GY43. It's the same color that I used for the snowman's hat, but this one is deep olive green. I do have Sarah Renee Clark's the color catalog. I'm interested in the color cubes too, but right now I just have the 2 catalog volumes and then the companions. So that one is the one that shows you like which pencils you should be using. There's like she has different brands of pencils in there. The ones I use the most are like the Prismacolor, Black Widow, and Polychromos. Those are the ones that I use the most. But so I was looking in there for a Christmas color palette, which so I did find a couple color like Christmas color palettes. I think she has like 8 or 9 in there. I just used those as inspiration. I didn't necessarily stick with the exact colors that she had on there, and I didn't necessarily use just one palette. I kind of combined them all together in order to pick my colors for this one. But I think maybe sometime in the new year I'll think about the color cube because those are really neat. Each palette has its own card, and she's got like different tones and hues of every color on the color palette. So I think it'd just be something really neat to have. And since he has green on his socks here, I'm going to go ahead and do his cuff, the cuff of his sweater here in this green also. This green is kind of covering up that grayscale, but I think this is the darkest color that I am going to use for this page, so that's okay. And then I think for the rest of his sweater here, I'll use the darker red. I am using R8, which is geranium. And then we'll just make his socks match. We'll do the dots in red. Yeah, because I think what I'll do is I'll make all of his sock green. Yeah, so anyway, I have that color cube on my list of things that I would like to purchase in the near future. I also added a whole bunch of new coloring books to my Amazon wish list, either for other people to buy for me, whoever buys for me for like my birthday and Christmas or whatever. But I don't have any of the Maria Troll or Maria Trolley books. So I'd like to get a few of those. And then I just got um one of Hannah Carlson. I just got one of her books. I purchased two. The other one isn't here yet, but the first one I got was the Midnight Masquerade, and then I got like the Forest Kingdom one. And if you've seen Pamela's Passion for Pencils, she actually did a video where she used polychromos in that book, in those books, I guess, and they worked out really well. So I'm excited to try some polychromos in my Anna Carlson books. I do have the rest of them on my wish list on Amazon just because I think I'd like to get all of them. I'm kind of like when I find a new artist that I like, I want to get pretty much everything I can from that artist. And I go in spurts, where like I'll be really into Johanna Basford books, and then I'll make a transition to Hannah Lynn books, and then, find either discover another artist or, use a different artist from the ones that I have. So I'm just hoping to get more coloring done in the future. I don't have Johanna's Christmas book. That's one that I don't have. I was thinking about getting it, for the Christmas season, but it just seems like her stuff is like really detailed, and it takes me quite a while to finish just one of her illustrations or finish coloring one of her illustrations. So, like, I just don't know that it would be worth it to buy the Christmas book because I feel that I wouldn't finish enough pages in, a short amount of time for it to be like worth it. But I guess I could always keep it for the next year. Maybe I'll look into buying it after Christmas. There will be a discount on it. Alan Roberts, the guy who um, draws the images for the Beauty of Horror books, he's got a Christmas one too, but it's like a mini size. So that'd be kind of cool, but also his images are pretty detailed too, so I just don't know that in a smaller form if they would be, I guess, colorable. Maybe for the other part of his socks, I'll go in with the Vivid Green. I have G2 Vivid Green, and we'll do his socks. Oh, that's closer to the darker green than I thought. I always forget how much I like these markers until I use them. It's so easy to finish a page in like a decent amount of time with these markers. I've used them as a base before too, before I put down colored pencils. I like doing that too because then if you're coloring something, you don't have to worry about getting into every little thing, like every little detail with the pencil. You have like a base coat so that if you do miss a spot, it's not super noticeable. I just don't like that I can't use these in some of my coloring books because they'll bleed through the page. I guess if on the other side of the page there was something that I didn't really care about, I wouldn't be so weird about it, but I don't know. I just don't want it bleeding through to the next page. Otherwise, I would use them in my coloring books. And that's the nice thing about printing out PDFs too is, they're one-sided, so you can color them with whatever type of medium you want, and you can print them on whatever type of paper you might need. Like if you want to do a watercolor, you can print on watercolor paper if your printer, you know, is capable of doing that. I don't think mine is, but I usually just use water-based mediums for like backgrounds or detail. Now we'll do the bottom part of his sock here. And then maybe with the lighter green, I'll go, or with this part of his sock where those polka dots are, I'll go in with a lighter green. I do have one that's lighter than this. So yeah, that was the vivid green that I use on his socks. I can use the darker red for the bow, and then I'll just have to figure out what I want to do for the paper. Now I'm like really starting to get into the Christmas spirit with this. The other one was Christmassy, but I did it in like pastel colors, so it was just like not Christmassy, but it is because it's got Christmas elements on it. So I like how he's turning out so far. I'm hoping he looks good in the end. I still got a color in the wrapping paper here, so I just don't know what color to do. I wish I had some glitter or something to add some detail, just some fun stuff to this page, but I don't have any like glittery type things. I have the OHUHU glitter markers, but there's not like, there's a silver, but there's not like a gold. The one that is in there that would be most like a gold is actually an orange, so it's more of like a brassy color than like a gold. Unfortunately, there is a silver in there, so I guess there's a silver and a black. So maybe I could try using that somewhere on here. I do have gold, like metallic pencils. Like the polychromos came with one, and then the Prismacolor came with one, but I don't know that it would show up over these darker colors. I guess I've never tried to use metallic pencils like as a detail element before, because I'm not big on the metallic pencils. Oh, I know why I pulled that pink out for his tongue that he's got sticking out right here. This little part of the bow right here, I'll use the fine end for that because it's easier to get in those smaller spaces. Almost done with the bow. I think maybe for his beard I'll use the same color that I used yesterday, or maybe I'll just leave it the way that it is. Or I'll use like a super duper light gray. All right, he's pretty close to being done. Let's see, maybe I think for this part of his sock, I'm actually gonna go in with this lighter green color. Maybe I can do the wrapping paper in the mint blue color. But see, now I don't know if that would like stand out too much since I don't have any of the light blue. I could color a snowman in light blue. What I should have done was looked up some Christmas socks to get some inspiration for Christmas socks. But it'll be fine. It's all right. I'm still like fixated on what color I'm gonna make the wrapping paper. I like his antlers turned out, his little reindeer antlers. I think those turned out really nice with the color. I was definitely looking for more of a muted color for that. I had to walk away for a second and I almost grabbed the wrong color to go. Almost grabbed the darker green instead of the light green. That would have been not good. I'm so happy that I found the time to do 2 videos in a week. That usually doesn't happen. I'm gonna just color in this snowman because it'll make me feel better. Now, what color? Let me do his. I'm actually gonna grab the gray for his beard. All right, let me see if this is actually the color that I want to use. That one might be a little bit too dark. Pull out my swatch sheet because maybe I'll find another green that I want to use also for the wrapping paper or something. Oh, that's actually the lightest gray that I have. This one I was missing when I did my swatch sheet for some reason. I think I had just misplaced it and not put it in the right area, and I haven't gotten around to putting it in there yet. I just noticed too that he's got the cuff of his sweater right there is also going to be dark green. It actually looks kind of like it has a blue-ish tint to it. He looks like a little Santa Claus with his red hat and his beard. There we go. Let's see about a green. Maybe the leaf green. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to do this GY5. But I didn't pull it out, so I got to find it now. I hope it's not, no. Actually, let me test it on some paper first. Yeah, no, maybe? Sure. Let's give it a shot. Maybe for the smaller areas, I'm going to go in with the fine tip first. It's kind of an ugly green, but oh well. Maybe once he's done, it'll look a little bit better. I didn't want to do like black or gray because I feel like wrapping paper usually isn't black or gray unless you're not Christmas paper anyway. Speaking of wrapping paper and my not excited to wrap presents. I almost bought wrapping paper, but I'm glad I didn't because I looked through like my Christmas stuff in the basement and I found like 5 rolls of wrapping paper. And I think what my problem is that I buy too much wrapping paper and then I don't wind up using it all. And then I usually forget about it. And, then the next year I buy more wrapping paper. So I think all the wrapping paper we have is like a stockpile of years past. I think I do need tape though. And like, I don't know about you guys, but usually when I'm wrapping presents, I lose my scissors like 50,000 times. Trying to not get any on the Christmas tree right here or on that little dot right there. Working with these markers can be a challenge sometimes to get into small spaces. We're getting there, almost done. And then I can add in some Posca and call it done. Sometimes I wish the outlines on these grayscales were like a little bit darker, just to be, to be easier to follow, I guess. Like the outlines of stuff, not necessarily the shading, just the outlines. But then I guess it wouldn't be really grayscale, then would it? It would be like more line art. One last part here. Try to keep it out of the gingerbread man. Oh no, I ruined him already. He reminds me of that little gingerbread guy in is it Shrek? Shrek has a little gingerbread guy. I do love the little donkey in Shrek. He's cute. I haven't seen that movie in a really long time. I guess because like now that my kids are older, they don't really watch those movies. I don't mind them. I actually liked it when they were little and I could watch the Disney movies with them. But I'm also kind of a nerd when it comes to that stuff. All right, so it looks like he's done. I don't think I missed anything. So I am going to do the Pascha. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do it, but again, like I just want to add, I think, some reflective elements. So I'm going to add in some elements here and I will be back, okay? Okay, so I finished him all up. I just added Posca pen, the white one, again for like reflective elements. And then I just added some black up here on his little reindeer antlers just to give it a little bit more detail. I don't know if I like how that turned out, but I noticed right here I went a little crooked with the white Posca. So I don't know if I can maybe try and cover it up. It might actually work. Let's see. So yeah, I guess you can cover up the Posca with some alcohol marker. But I just added like a little highlight on his nose, some on his fingers here, which I don't know if I like that either. Now that I'm like looking at it. So maybe I'll just cover that up too. It actually gives kind of like a cool effect. I'll zoom you guys in a minute and I'll kind of show you. It's almost like it dissolves the Posca and makes it blend in. So I'll just zoom you guys back in so I can kind of show you better. So here's where I covered up the Posca pen with the alcohol marker, and then right here, I don't know if you guys can see that, like covered it up and kind of blurred it a little bit so it kind of looks more blended, I guess. But anyway, I do like how he turned out. I think he turned out really cute, other than the small mistakes I made, but those were covered up easy enough. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. I would love it if you could like this video. Also hit that subscribe button and you can hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.